Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is gonna be a video about the heavy snow that's gonna be occurring across the US and the stormy west. And kind of a pattern change or pattern update as well. So just an all throughout video about the weather. So consider watching this video, consider subscribing, consider liking this video. It really means a lot to me. Well, when you like these videos, and that basically gives it out to more people, and more people can be alerted about what's going on. So thank you so much for doing that. And let's get into the video. So as you can see, we have a storm pressure right now, or storm system 991. It's strengthening as we speak. It's going to be moving across the Midwest. I don't know if you can hear this, but there's just rain pounding on my window. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's really, really heavy. And yeah, for our location here in Chicago, it won't be really rain at all with this system. It will be mainly, or it won't be snow. It will be mainly rain. But for Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, western Iowa, all of Nebraska will be some light snow to some heavy to moderate snow. Actually, moderate to heavy snow. I mean, seriously, these amounts are going to be pretty significant, especially with the storm being really quick hitter. Notice that after this storm, there's not much cold air behind it. There's not much, cold period, not much break. You can see the amounts are pretty high. As we see another storm system occurring right there, and this one has just so much moisture. And as we speak right now, this storm is making landfall on the coast of Oregon and California, bringing just loads of precip. And you can see that just brings a lot of precip into the plains, where again the mountains get absolutely hammered. Look at that, it just strengthens into a bomb right there. 978 potentially, the strongest system. Very heavy snow, a lot of rain out ahead of it on the Saturday and Sunday. And then this kind of, notice how the cold air mass pushes it just, so this is the path of the storm. It takes off, goes through the mountains, and then kind of like goes like this, and then it just beelines like that. I mean, seriously, where the storm is, storms are directed by air masses. Storms do not direct really air masses unless they are huge. Or, usually the air masses are powerful enough to direct them, and we will be actually seeing a cold blast. And this will be just coming in really fast, and this will just push the storm to the east really quickly. So notice if I put this into motion, we are right now at hour 90, and we go, look at that, it just goes straight south. It doesn't go up, doesn't go, at least northeast. It goes south and east. Now that is a very, very unusual track for a storm to be taking. While it's doing that, it's leaving pretty heavy snow across Minnesota, Michigan, and it's weakening pretty significantly as it does that. But the possibility is right now that it could re-strengthen across the East Coast around the Monday, December timeframe, and could produce quite a bit of snow across the East Coast. You could see New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Boston, Pennsylvania. This could turn into a coastal system. We'll have to watch this carefully. For the Midwest, Ohio Valley, not much, just rain and snow showers again, but the energy transfers into a nor'easter potentially. So that would be very interesting to see. And then also notice very cold air behind it, or relatively cold air with potentially another storm occurring. Overall, just a very active pattern with some heavy precipitation coming towards the northern U.S., or heavy snowfall and heavy precipitation as well. Notice the GFS does not really like the second storm as much as the first one. It doesn't show that great amounts. It shows quite a bit across Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, but really across Minnesota, it's not doing too much. By the way, this one right here, this little area right here is from a previous storm, for the first storm. This is just from the second storm. But notice the amounts pick up across the northeast, so we may actually see a nor'easter out of this, which would be very, very interesting. So let's look at the Canadian model snowfall amounts. Notice that this one really does like to bring in a much bigger system for the Midwest, much more broad, and the precipitation. The system doesn't really get slammed by that cold air mass, and has more time to, strengthen, spin around, do its thing, and just drop snow. We will notice that it does take a southeastward track after a while, but not before it dumps quite a bit of snow across Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and into Michigan. You can see also delivering a potential nor'easter at the very end. So you may be wondering, when will this all clear out? You know, with the storm making landfall right now on the coast, where usually the models, when the storm is off, you know, offshore on the waters, they have a little bit harder time predicting it than rather than when it's already on the coast and, you know, hitting Oregon, California. It will be in a couple of hours. So the next model runs will just get more and more accurate, and we'll see if it takes more of a Canadian model, you know, weather scenario, or more of the GFS, which again was a weaker storm, but you know, again, still has that chance for a nor'easter system. Let's go to the total snowfall accumulations. By the way, this would be occurring from like really across the Midwest early next week into Saturday and Sunday, and then the nor'easter possibly Monday into Tuesday. But notice these amounts are pretty significant, and this is the first system, and that is the second one. You can see the amounts are you know, substantial, so that's definitely something to note of. And again, it's pretty substantial across the Northeast. Let's go to the European model. The European model is fairly good with these storms. You know, I would say it's the best one, honestly. It's been by far the best one. I mean, seriously, it's been consistently showing these two storms along with as well with the GFS. Notice this is the first storm right here. Again, has a very powerful storm. Here's that second storm, and it also has it developing across the Northeast into a coastal storm. So that could be very interesting as well. Let's look at some of these snowfall accumulations for the European model. Let's go to new snow next 3 days. This is just from this one singular system. Notice parts of Michigan get up to 2 feet of snow, or sorry, 20 inches of snow, so basically a foot and a half. And let's look at the 5. You can see right there, it really does snow quite a bit across the Dakotas, more than what the GFS is showing. Let's go to like Bismarck, the capital of North Dakota, and let's look at the next 5 days. You can see a foot of snow, definitely a possibility. And again, those same areas may get even more snow. And then notice what it does across the Northeast. It basically introduces quite a bit of snow as well across central New York, 13, 11, 10, and even across areas like Boston, 2, 4, 9. Let me tell you, the earlier models of the European had it a little bit more to the coast, but they're still showing snow across the coastal Northeast, which is, you know, basically the main point right now, whether or not this will actually develop into nor'easter, as the storm will most likely occur. I mean, it's coming in right now the coast, and it's very powerful. It's just whether or not this storm will actually turn into a monster nor'easter, or, you know, drop heavy snow across the Northeast, or how strong will it be across the Midwest. Let's look at some of the snowfall accumulations with some of the higher resolution models. This would be just for like encompassing this first little storm. And again, I should not be calling this a first little storm. I should be calling it a first storm, but nothing else. I mean, seriously, well, nothing that would kind of belittle the storm. I mean, seriously, this thing deserves all rights of bragging power. I mean, seriously, these snowfall rates, these rainfall amounts, these winds, there's everything about the storm is going to be impressive and big. So notice across the arrowhead of Minnesota getting some snow, but mainly across the head of Wisconsin. But let's track this out one by one. So I may do a live stream about this, so if you're watching at this point and you want a live stream, first of all, you're very valuable because you're watching this video till the end. I really, really admire you, and it's people like you that really make this channel, you know, get to the point where it is right now. So thank you, and also comment down whether or not you want a live stream. Notice also that it doesn't have a lot of precipitation in terms of rain out to it at the beginning. It really just has a band of snow to the north, and that's on the northwest side. It's really just getting affected by the really strong winds. And if we go further into time, we see that the rain starts increasing, starts transitioning to some very heavy snow right by that rain snow line area. There will be the heaviest of the snowfall. You'll notice that it moves up, has plenty of moisture at this time, and it really just, I mean, you can see just explodes across with Wisconsin seeing loads of moisture, Michigan, snow, Minnesota. I mean, this thing is a quick hitter. I mean, by, you know, tomorrow at around 10 o'clock, it'll be mainly done with most locations. I mean, fiddlesticks, but like, you know, the snowfall amounts will be pretty big. So let's go to the north central United States. You can see pockets of up to a foot of snow. Mainly, I would say though 8, 7, 10. You know, around the, I would say 8 to 12 inch range. It seems fairly likely for all these locations. Anywhere in the pink is above the 6 inches. So I just wanted to let that you know. But overall, again, this storm looks pretty powerful and pretty strong. So that is that. Let's look at the windy. Sorry, we already looked at that. Let's look at some of the temperatures that will be possibly occurring after these storms, and let's look at the long range of 12Z. This is the GEFS ensembles. You can see there's that storm. This would actually be the first storm, and here's that second storm brewing from the in the southwest. So this storm comes up through here. You can see, again, kind of travels to the southeast, despite being, a strong system. It gets pushed off by this air mass. We get a little bit of warm air behind it, but then we get a cool blast of air. You can see right there. And then we get into a weird pattern. I mean, we could be looking at a little bit of troughs, a little bit of ridges. The GFS models are kind of going back and forth. Don't really know what they're going to do themselves. You can see they have a little bit of cold air centered across next Wednesday across the northeast. Then it kind of shifts a little bit to the southeast and into the northwest, and then maybe tries getting its way down into the Midwest. But overall, there's no overwhelming guidance showing extreme cold. We're looking at a rather, I would say, chillier pattern below average. But you can see, I mean, the GFS by itself, I was just showing you the GEFS. The GFS also shows, a cool air mass, like for instance at around the 252 hour right now. As you can see right here, more cool and warm in the southwest. But then at the very end of the forecasting period, you're going to notice how there's just warm orange colors, and that would be indicating very, very warm or very warm temperatures and above average. And this, if you were to actually look at this, this would be impressive. Some of these you could see 2-meter temperature shaded, where you could see that we'd be barely seeing frost and freezes across these locations, which you may be wondering, oh, that's darn cold. Well, not for December. We're already basically almost at winter. It's November 26th meteorologically, which is channels about meteorology. Winter starts December 1st, so we're still, we're very close. We're, extremely close, but really this cold air is not looking too impressive. The 8 to 14 day outlook shows, it shows some rather warm conditions, not really cold. You can see more warm than cold across these locations. 6 to 10 day outlook, a little bit closer range, shows, colder conditions, but that's only for up to until like the 6th of December, which reminds me a little bit of last year, which was similar in pattern. Where the December was warm. So we'll have to wait and see a little bit. At first, the beginning of December is looking really cold. Now it's looking a little bit warmer. We'll just have to really see what the models do. In terms of the European model, you can see it doesn't show really overwhelming cold as well either. It shows a little bit of, some troughs. The cold air is definitely there, pretty imminent, but not really below average to a great extent. So yeah, I just realized this video is almost at 13 minutes long, so thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking this video. Consider liking, subscribing to this channel, and catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.